Hello and welcome to the fireside chat on AI decision making strategies to improve operational performance at CXO Data Intelligence Summit and Awards 2022. So, what is this all about? Like, AI now has firm footing in organizations. Strategic decision making processes. According to studies, 5 years ago, less than 10% of large companies had adopted machine learning or other forms of AI. But today, 80% of them make use of the technology, whether it is Amazon integrating algorithms into its recruiting process or Walmart using AI for decision making. So AI, we can have such examples, including the top management. So this fireside chat takes an interesting recourse on how AI and data analytics are redefining the manufacturing industry and what are the critical elements to improve operational performance and decision making at the top level. We have a renowned technology leader, Sharad Agarwal, Chief Digital and Innovation Officer, JK Tyres, to elaborate on how AI is redefining decision making and supply chain. A very warm welcome to you, Sharad.
Thank you, Kalpana ma'am. Thanks for having me. And probably the topic that you have chosen is most contemporary and most relevant topic. And I will say it's not just relevant to manufacturing; it's relevant to every type of business and even personal lives that we are living today. So it's very relevant.
Sure. Thank you so much. So, I thoroughly enjoyed my earlier chat. You remember when the pandemic started in India, and I remember you talked about using AI at JK Tires, wherein you mentioned about digital claims applications and smart tires. And trust me, the CXO TV audience really liked knowing about those innovations. And I'm sure today it will be even more interesting while we are all in a new normal.
True.
Yeah. So in context to our today's topic, which is all about strategies to improve operational performance with help of AI, let me ask you, like in the manufacturing industry, the way it has evolved over the centuries from human-centered, machine-reliant assembly lines to the highly automated factories that we are going to see today. The industry in India headed, and what are the top opportunities and challenges?
Personally, feel that all this industrial revolution is more manufacturing industries, less about the other counterparts. I won't say that they are not using technology, but manufacturing has always been at the forefront of technologies. Even if we talk about the second industrial revolution of mass production, it was there. So here also what we see is increasing overall equipment efficiency and the productivity plus the improved quality. So that have been I would say the three key pillars for any manufacturing or manufacturing facility. And with the emergence of new technologies that are helping not one but every industry to become more reliant on technology. Yes, you rightly said we were more human focused earlier, but if we look at our which our first plant and our latest plant, the manpower deployment there varies a lot. Means we have saved a lot on manpower deployment, and the overall cycle time, overall production time have reduced in the new plants with higher level of automation, which is supported by robotics, and we see less of humans there. Most of the things getting done by automated machines. So, from a perspective of challenge, yes, second have been the choice of technology, which vendor to which system integrator to choose, which vendor to choose, which product to choose. So there are plethora of challenges, but yes, you have to balance the cost part, the value part, and see what can help the industry.
Yeah, sure. When we say, you're talking about the latest technology, so Industry 4.0 is, all about the new technologies, the emerging technologies and all. So how is Industry 4.0 revolutionizing the manufacturing world as we see higher tech adoption with the pandemic, and what are the tech adoption trends you see in India now?
Yeah, so India, though, if we think about a couple of decades back, we were not very reliant on technology because we had, I would say, I won't use the word cheap, but we had labor available at a substantially lower cost than the others. So we were more focused on doing labor-intensive jobs. But if we look at now, what is Industry 4.0? It's talking about cyber controlling the physical world. So what happens is we all want to do more with less. So that's mantra of any business. So what we are getting out of this technology, we are able to deliver more, we are able to produce more with lesser inputs of manpower, and they are more because they are routine jobs. So this technology helps us take care of these routine jobs in an automated way without human intervention, which is taking industry to the next level. And there are multiple technologies. So machine learning has been adopted nice and well in India, and even there we can see instances of AI being used. I won't say 100%, but to a relatively successful level, wherein results are very evident.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess AI-powered automation in the factories also enables safer operations and better energy efficiency with the optimized production. And
You mentioned a very right point, because safety has always been at the forefront of any manufacturing industry. But what I'm seeing a new trend is that now sustainability is even going a notch beyond safety. So we talk of sustainability first, then talk of safety, then talk of anything else.
Yeah, so that's the buzzing word now. Yeah. And not to mention, like shifting the focus of skilled workers now to higher value tasks with the advent of the newer technologies. I would say easily, we can have our skilled people to focus on more productive things than earlier.
Yeah, very true. And because one good talent, skilled workforce availability has been issue with all the industries. So we can deploy them where they find more meaningful work to do, which is meaningful from personal satisfaction perspective as well as organization perspective. Also, they can deliver more. So it's a win-win for both the doer and one who's getting the work done.
Yeah, absolutely. So experts are saying that 5G will enable manufacturers to easily connect their IIoT technology and leverage the data collection and data processing within the device. So how do you think 5G is going to redefine the manufacturing industry over the next few years?
Actually, 5G has the base components of network which were needed always, means lower latency, higher speed, transmission speeds, and more data can be uh, can be made available. And of course, uh, whenever we want to deploy network, whenever we want to deploy anything on a machine, it has to be network enabled. But now with advent of 5G, what I foresee is Industry 4 moving towards Industry 5, where real-time decisions won't be hampered by bandwidth crunch or by latency crunch or any of these issues. 5G can become a real precursor of new dawn in era of adoption of newer technologies, and I see it helping us move towards Industry 5.0, supported by cohorts, of course.
That's really fantastic to know that we are moving ahead now. After 4.0, we are talking about 5.0. When we say data analytics, so how critical are data analytics and AI in manufacturing, and what are the challenges organizations facing in aligning their data and AI strategy?
So data has always been important, but earlier it was, I would say, restricted to the top echelon of the management, in which they were taking decisions for multiple things, like for evaluating the capacity, whether we want to increase capacity based on the market demand, how can they were more strategic decisions. But with advent of advanced analytics, what we are able to deploy this analytics even at the operational level. Just to give you an example, we have been able to reduce the cycle times by doing advanced analytics study of the operations we are doing. So even if we are able to shave off a couple of minutes from a regular process, which gives us advantage of 5 to 10%, and it is fantastic. So we call it, we are able to do more extraction out of the existing assets. The asset turnover becomes better. So that is one area, and there are multiple other areas. Of course, safety. We can with this technology, this safety has become sort of ingrained within the norms of the industry by using these newer tools, and we are able to produce again. I may sound repeating same thing again and again, but we are able to produce more with the limited means that we are having with the help of technology.
Yeah, sure. So that means AI as moves beyond process automation. According to you, it is also making helping in decision making at the top management level.
What I'm saying, it was always supposed to help the top management. Now it is also helping at operational level to make better decisions and quicker decisions.
Yeah, yeah. So it's everywhere we can see the use cases of AI now in an organization. Yeah. So maintaining a seamless supply chain is crucial for any manufacturing unit. As the pandemic disrupted the supply chain for many, How is AI enabling businesses to build a resilient supply chain?
So there have been a couple of instances where not just us, many of the industries are using AI predictions to gauge the availability of supply chain links. Means, if we recall, the containers availability was an issue 2 years back, and their prices had gone through the roof. They were almost 3 to 4 to 5 times. Now
Yeah.
they're so this AI is helping you sort of whoever are using it give a prediction of when a vessel will be arriving, when you can load it. So you are saving those times and to improve the supply chain. So per se, supply chain is getting resilient with forecasting being done using better tools and real-time tracking of multiple of the vessels of all the other avenues are being sort of bundled into algorithm, and then you can get a result of algorithm which is fairly accurate, which helps in improving the supply chain. But there can be still issues. God forbid if something like the pandemic, that pandemic happens again. So in that case, because in those black swan events, sometimes even AI won't be able to help, but in many cases, it is helping everyone.
Yeah. So, what are the critical elements and strategies to improve operational performance and decision making in the manufacturing industry? What's your perspective?
So of course, we rely on every manufacturing would rely on all the three pillars that we talked about. How we can produce more using the same set of assets. How can and how easily, because in this supply chain, this is what's happening. You are sometimes you get fall short of material A. So how easily you can move to A dash, its substitute, which may be easily available or limitedly available. So all this permutation combination, if has to be done manually, takes a lot of time. So in this case, it is helping us to switch to alternate means of inputs, alternate means of production. How can we move from machine A to machine B? All these things which were available with us but were there somewhere in the data sheets has been available on the fly. So the decision making help is improving and can be taken on the go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, from intelligent maintenance to process management, AI is being used everywhere throughout the automotive industry, whether it is to increase quality, efficiency, safety, reducing cost. So,
And one more important thing when you talked about quality, so what is also helping in some of the cases is while you are going through a complete process, so suppose there are 10 stages, so you are evaluating the parameters at every stage. Based on machine learning, you know that if the outputs at machine stage number 2 are not as per the standards. So instead of going through the entire cycle and then deciding whether it is a good quality product or a bad quality product to be discarded, you can take a decision at stage 2 itself. That's also helping us and reduce the cost of quality by eliminating the poor quality inputs wherever at the earliest. I won't say at the zero level, but at the earliest, whenever we are able to take a stock of them.
yeah, but the whole DNA lies on the good data basically. How heavy data we have, and rest everything revolves around that.
Yeah, that's very true because any data science project would be successful till you create data, test data, and you need a substantial data, which maybe means minimum couple of months, and in some cases it's even a data which may be required maybe more than a year because there are seasonalities trends there. So this the data is the most important input for any data science project for the advanced analytics or as we call machine learning. So they are all dependent on data and good quality data. So in some cases, it has been seen that data was there, but it was not there in a means which could be ingested. So companies are even working to bring the unstructured data into a data lake where the data can be interpreted. That becomes the foundation, the ground zero for advanced analytics.
So, would you like to case study or use case wherein your own when it comes to the data governance?
Not just one case, there were particular cases in which we were having data available in the SCADA, which was getting sort of wiped out in a cyclic manner. Because suppose it was keeping a data of 2 months, so every 61st day, the first wiped off. So we were not having some historians to capture their data. So we sort of their data to a data lake on which we were able to reduction in cycle time. So we got 10 to 12% reduction in cycle time, too much increase in production. So that was one able to using another case we working on is reaching the formulation for a golden badge. So that's still work in progress. So if we found golden, so coming. So these are a couple of the projects.
So I remember last time when we spoke 2 years ago, where you were talking about smart tires, and I think we built a lot of traction in social. Someone is stealing it, or maybe they're late. So people were so very overwhelmed to know about it that okay, this is an innovation.
Also building a sort of a data factory for us to analyze that how particular conditions under particular in which they are able to further improve the product for the benefit of the customer. Ultimately, customer is who all we are working for. So if we can do something which helps customer, it is really sort of great moment for all of us. So by the way, means we were the first. Means it's not just boasting. The first which introduced that tire for taxi segment, which could last more than 1 lakh kilometer.
Wow.
It was, I think, 3 or 4 years back.
Yeah.
But then, if you normally would see that every segment has got its own need. For taxi driver, tires are the input cost. For us, they are more from a joy perspective.
So I guess the goals for 2023 for your R&D, especially, will be finding out more ways to become sustainable. Though it's quite difficult for automotive companies, and your company is associated, with something which has to do with the automotive as a whole, wherein they are striving hard to reduce the carbon footprint. So that's quite challenging.
Yeah, that's quite challenging. Just to give you an example, so some majority of our inputs would be petrochemical derived, hydrocarbon based. But now we are working, not just us, but the industry is working towards greener inputs, which are derived from vegetable or such organic resources, which don't have a direct negative impact on the environment. So this is just one such example where R&D is also working harder than us to find a substitute which is greener in nature.
Sure. So thank you so much, Sharad, for sharing great insights. And I'm sure our CXTV audience finds it interesting too, with a lot of takeaway. It was a complete pleasure interacting with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Though we interacted after 2 years gap, but I find you as great as you have always been. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It means a lot for me. Right. So with this, I want to thank you. To watch more such interesting videos, please log on to www.cxotv.news. And please stay tuned to our social media channels. Stay safe and take care.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.